Gentlelady from California, for what purpose she rise? Gentlelady is recognized for 5 minutes.
Mr. Speaker, I rise in strong support of this amendment. The bill before us nullifies EPA's rules to require industrial boilers and incinerators to reduce their emissions of toxic mercury and other toxic pollutants. The bill removes legal deadlines for pollution controls to be installed, fundamentally weakening the Clean Air Act and allowing years or decades of continued toxic air pollution. Mr. Speaker, mercury is a potent neurotoxin. According to the California Department of Toxic Substances Control, human exposure to organic mercury can result in long-lasting health effects, especially if it occurs during fetal development. In addition, scientists have linked mercury poisoning to nervous system, kidney, and liver damage and impaired childhood development. Nervous system disorders can include impaired vision, speech, hearing, and coordination. In other words, babies born to women exposed to mercury during pregnancy can suffer from a range of developmental and neurological problems, including delays in speaking and difficulties in learning. Children suffering from the chronic effects of mercury exposure may never reach their full potential. This clearly has a profound impact on the affected children and their families, and it also has a long-term societal impact. In 1990, Congress amended the Clean Air Act on a bipartisan basis to reduce emissions of mercury and other toxic pollutants from a range of industrial sources, including boilers and incinerators. Boilers and incinerators are one of the largest sources of airborne mercury pollution in the United States. For far too long, they have been allowed to pollute without installing modern technology to reduce their emissions. This is of particular concern for women who are pregnant, may become pregnant, or who are nursing. Mercury exposure in the womb can adversely affect the developing brain and nervous system. This can lead to problems with a child's cognitive thinking, memory, attention, language, and fine motor skills. As of 2008, 50 states, 1 U.S. territory, and 3 tribes have issued advisories for mercury. Earlier this year, EPA finalized standards to cut emissions of mercury and other toxic air pollutions from boilers and incinerators. These rules were more than a decade late. EPA is in the process of reconsidering those rules and plans to finalize the revised rules by next April. Once finalized, EPA's rules for boilers and incinerators will cut mercury pollution from these sources. The Republican leadership wants to nullify these rules. They have also passed legislation to nullify rules to clean up mercury pollution from cement plants, and they have passed legislation to nullify rules to clean up mercury pollution from dirty coal-fired power plants, the largest U.S. source of mercury pollution to the air. This is unacceptable for public health. People living near these polluting facilities have waited far too long for them to clean up their pollution. They shouldn't have to wait any longer. This amendment is straightforward. It states that the bill does not stop EPA from taking action to clean up toxic air pollution from an industrial boiler or incinerator if that facility is emitting mercury or other toxic pollutants that are damaging babies' developing brains. I urge my colleagues to support this amendment. I yield back the balance of my time.
What purpose does the gentlelady from Connecticut rise?